ABC. Oh, come on.
16 months. 7 concentrations available, now including healthcare administration. Get started at ohiodominican.edu/MBA.
You've been putting back a few, and a few becomes a few too many. For a moment, you think of calling for a ride, but nah, you live nearby. What's the worst that could happen? You get pulled over, your insurance goes up, you lose your license, you total your car, you kill someone. The results of driving drunk are tragic. That's why law enforcement is out there looking for impaired drivers to save lives. So if you think you're okay to drive after a few drinks, think again. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
Thank you for riding with the Watchdog. Live and local. Just the way you like it.
Live and local conversation for the Ohio Valley continues shortly. Here on the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe.
A serious injury from an accident can be just the start of your worries. What if you cannot return to work? How do you take care of your family if you're disabled? At Gelner Law Offices, we represent seriously injured people and understand their problem. We know how to get you fair compensation. We will work hard to make sure you get the money you deserve for your losses. Don't go it alone. If you're hurt in an accident, call us at 304-242-2900 or visit us at gelnerlaw.com.
We'd like to help.
I'm Andrew Saul, Commissioner of Social Security. Beware of telephone scammers pretending to be government employees. Real Social Security employees will never threaten you. Callers threatening you with arrest or other legal action and demanding money are not from us. If you receive a call like this, hang up, do not provide them with any form of payment or information. Report the call at oig.ssa.gov.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the Watchdog trusts.
Hello everyone, from the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster. With a look at your local weather forecast for your Thursday. Look for partly sunny skies, daytime high near 40 degrees, clear, cool, overnight temperatures down to about 20 degrees for the low. You'll see plenty of sunshine around for your Friday, with highs in the lower 40s. Have yourself a great day everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
I'm not a Monday guy.
I'm not crazy about it either. I also don't like Tuesdays, Wednesdays, or Thursdays.
Are you ready to go? I'm warning you, I'm seriously stressed out here.
You always drink like this so early in the morning?
It's not this early in the day for the bottle, even for you. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
Make the radio call. It's time to get up.
It's time to hear that pop.
This tape will self-destruct in 5 seconds.
We are go for live.
Your morning news, weather, and sports wrapped into his own unique perspective. This is the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe and Brad Leonard in the producer's chair. Brought to you in part by Wheeling Hospital.
How are ya? Welcome to a Monday, 23 degrees at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport. Just a tiny bit of wind blowing around makes it feel like 16. Boy, looking out the window, though, sun is up, looking gorgeous outside. It's a cold morning. Going to be a warmer day today, though. Going to get up nicely into the 50s today before it's all over and done with. But right now, bundle up if you're going out. 23 at the airport, 23 here in my home studios, the Elm Grove section of Wheeling, 23 at the Robinson Auto Group Studios downtown Wheeling, in the heart of the Ohio Valley. Look, I don't have my little inside thermometer in here. I don't know what it is in here, Biffy, but for the second time in the last couple of months, the furnace died.
Uh-oh.
Yes. It was a cold night sleeping. Fortunately, my wife 40 degrees. Okay, 40 degrees inside. She just brought me the inside thermometer. It's 40 degrees here at the home studios. What do you got there, Biffy?
Let me see.
I'm just thinking maybe I could borrow a few degrees if possible.
69.
You're 74. maybe I could borrow at least 5 degrees or something to get it up here. It's 40 degrees where I'm 40 degrees right here in the home studio. But it's going to warm up, and hopefully we'll get the furnace people out here again today. When I had someone here fix a furnace a couple of months ago, I was absolutely convinced I was going to buy a new furnace. So I was committed to that. All right, he's going to come and tell me the furnace is dead. I got to buy a new furnace. First place, we've had that furnace for like 28 years or something. That's a long time. Secondly, my experience over the years has been anytime a furnace repair person comes out and does a look at things, they always say, "Yep, buy a new one." So I was fully prepared. And we had a really nice guy, and he did a little, he goes, I guess, I got to put a few extra parts in here. I'll fix it up for you. Everything will be fine. You got years left on this. Well, I guess years, I'm thinking maybe actually meant months. So, at any rate, God, it was cold last night. We have a little we have electric heater in our fireplace, and that works, and a little extra space heater we had. And my wife and I just closed all the doors and slept in the living room once again. So that was the way it was. Biffy, there's a really critical, urgent activity over the weekend we have to talk about. I'm sure that probably you watched it, maybe with a legal pad in hand, making notes and so on. And that, of course, was the royal interview with Oprah.
Yeah, I didn't watch a second of it.
You didn't catch that?
No.
You didn't sit in front of the screen with legal pad and take notes and go, "Oh my God, Meghan and Harry," and you didn't do that?
No, not at all. That interests me in the least bit. I had no desire. I don't care if that was the last thing on TV. I wasn't watching it. I could care less what Harry and Meghan do. I was not watching that. I'm telling you, if that was the last thing on TV, I'd go outside and would have walked at night on the island, then watch that.
I have to admit, I didn't watch one single second of it either. I don't have any interest in this. ABC News, top of the hour, last hour, made it their top story. Their top story. What Meghan and Harry had to say about their life as a royal and so on. We passed a COVID relief bill over the weekend. There's a lot of controversy over that. There's the Andrew Cuomo story on the national scene. I mean, we got, COVID concerns to continue talking about. All that stuff. What's the big story? Let's have a conversation. What's number one in our newscast? We better make it the Royals. You gotta be kidding me. Seriously, I knew it was on. And I had a moment of panic last night. Because at one point, my wife says, "Oh, is tonight the Oprah interview with Meghan and Harry is on?" And I thought, "Oh, God, please don't tell me you're going to want to watch that." But she didn't. So what is it about the Royals that fascinates people, Biffy, here in this country? I guess, I'm not even sure if you're in England, because it's not that big a deal. But if you're in England, I guess they are your royal family. But what is it in this country that fascinates us with the royal families? I don't get it.
I mean, I think it's one of those deals where we don't hear too much coming out of England, and when we do, most of the stuff that we get is mainly from the royal family. So it's like our only chance to see or hear whatever if we want to.
Right. Well, I had no interest in it, but apparently it's the biggest story of the weekend, so if that's what you've tuned in to listen to, I'm sorry. Actually, I have some clips from it. Not maybe later. We'll do it for fun. Here are the wildest revelations. Only know it from my news story here. The wildest revelations from the interview with Meghan and Harry. Meghan had to learn how to curtsy 5 minutes before meeting the Queen. Woo-hoo. Kate Middleton made Meghan cry the week before their wedding. Aww. Meghan and Harry got married in secret before their televised wedding. Who cares? Meghan says the Queen has always been warm to her. Well, that's nice. I do like this one. This is so whatever. The royals were worried about how dark her and Harry's son Archie would be. Oh my Lord, he could look like a darkie. Woo, what could happen there? A serious mental health crisis, the lack of royal support led them to leaving the royal family, coming to America. Meghan and Harry are happy and living a really fulfilling life in California. They are having a baby girl this summer, their second child. And Harry and Meghan told the Queen and his father, Prince Charles, that they were leaving their senior royal roles before they announced it to the public. So there you go. That is the royal interview this weekend in a nutshell. And do you know, I saw a number, I can't verify this, but I saw a number that CBS paid $7 to $8 million to them for allowing them to be interviewed. $7 to $8 million. I don't get it.
I don't want to get
it. Makes no
it.
sense to me. But if I was counting on you, pal, I was counting on you to have all the details and be able to bring me the information. I thought surely you and your family would be royal watchers.
No.
Yeah, well, no, actually, I didn't really.
No, that wasn't.
Now, did you catch any basketball? We had a pretty big basketball weekend, though.
Yes, went over Friday afternoon and watched West Liberty and Concord in the first round, the quarterfinal round on Friday. And then
MEC,
yes, the MEC tournament at the West Banco Arena. And then over the weekend, just kind of had the game on the phone, followed on the stat tracker last night, and kept up with Fairmont State and West Liberty last night, and that's how I did it. So yeah, I mean it was nice to be back in the West Banco Arena and see basketball there. I think between I'll have to sit down and figure this out one day because I've seen many a basketball game in the West Banco Arena / Wheeling Civic Center, as well as hockey games in there. So I have to figure out how many I've actually been to, but it's a lot, I know that. But yeah, it was just nice to see people Friday in the arena watching basketball.
What kind of crowd did they have?
Probably Friday, best guess, I'd say, I don't know, maybe between 400 and 500.
Okay. Good deal.
Yeah, I mean, it was a nice crowd. I mean, for what they could put in the arena.
West Lib made it all the way through to the finals, but did not make it to the championship, right?
They did make it to the championship game. They lost 102 to 99 yesterday, and West Lib got off to a slow start, and they were down 12 at halftime. And I think if you would have told Coach Howlett that they would have been down at 12 at halftime, I think he would have accepted that because they didn't shoot the ball real well, and then in the second half kind of made a run and it fell short. And if you looked at the box score, the thing that I think that would have been a little different outcome, but give Fairmont State credit. I mean, they played well and in the end held off West Liberty's charge.
Wheeling University dropped out or lost out in the semifinals, I think.
Yes, I believe they did. And then the women's game, I think, was Glenville and Charleston, I think, was the women's game championship yesterday. It was the first game at 1.
And then, so it looks like a pretty good event. I saw a nice comment from the commish, Reed Amos, saying it was a really successful event. I think he was just happy to have an event with live people in the stands, and apparently it went off well. Pretty good crowd from what I saw. I saw some pictures on Facebook of people actually standing in line waiting to get tickets, which is not something we've seen for a while. So that was a good thing. Then did I see Central play downstate this weekend too?
Yeah, Wheeling Central Friday night played at the Charleston Catholic, and then Saturday they played at Winfield in the afternoon. But Friday night was kind of a bizarre ending. Wheeling Central was leading late, and kind Coach Stevens can laugh at this now, but I'm sure he wasn't laughing when it happened. Wheeling Central inadvertently tipped the ball into their own basket with 6 seconds left in regulation. So that tied the game in regulation, and then it went into double overtime, and Wheeling Central ended up prevailing in double overtime. And then Saturday afternoon at Winfield, they beat Winfield by 10. So a Southern sweep for the Maroon Knights over the weekend, and kind of surprised me a little bit. I didn't think they would take both of them. I thought they could beat Winfield, but to go down to Charleston Catholic, which is a tough place to play, and come back with two good road wins really for the Maroon Knights, and going to give them a lot of confidence going forward, and hopefully get a little bit more respect around the state. But yeah, just a crazy way to tie the game Friday night and have it go into overtime and needing double overtime to win.
And before we leave the round ball action, we should point out that we're getting back to high school basketball starting tomorrow night too, here on the Watchdog. 2 games, right?
Yes, 1 game on each station tomorrow night. We will have Weirton and Wheeling Central on 1600 and 98.1, and then over on 1370 and 97.7, John Marshall at Wheeling Park.
So high school basketball, West Virginia high school basketball is back now, and we'll have it for you. Complete schedule starting tomorrow night here on the Watchdog. All right, 7:23 after the hour here on the Watchdog Morning Show. I got a lot to do today. Tell you about that coming up in a minute. Plus, Biffy, another cartoon character in trouble for rape, mind you. Pepe Le Pew. I have the story coming up on the Watchdog Morning Show.
Hey, sports fan.
For only $8.99. It's also Military Monday.
Reliable dealership. Be certain. Choose Doan Ford. Online at DoanFord.com.
I'm not buying till I check Doan Ford.
My little girl hurt her foot and needed a doctor fast, but her physician wasn't available, and I wanted her seen as soon as possible. Then I remembered the Wheeling Hospital Urgent Care, right in downtown Wheeling at the Stone Center on Market Plaza. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day, the center is ideal if you have a sudden sickness or injury. The doctors and nurses were great, and they also provided x-rays, a pharmacy, and lab draw station. No appointments needed, and convenient parking is nearby. Wheeling Hospital Urgent Care. They'll take good care of you.
from the Watchdog Network. Right now, traffic. Here's the latest from the Robinson Auto Group Traffic Center.
Traffic near the Highlands, on Washington Avenue, and on the Fort Henry Bridge looks good. Traffic near the Ohio Valley Mall, on 70 and 470, and on State Route 7 is moving freely. The lane width reductions on the eastbound entrance ramp and westbound exit ramp to Wheeling Island will continue. The closure of I-70 from US 250 and West Virginia 2 South, the 16th Street exit to the Ogilvy Park exit for Phase 2 of the Fulton Bridge Replacement Project will continue. The closure of the US 250 North on-ramp to I-70 East as part of Phase 2 will continue. The intermittent McCulloch Street daytime closures will continue. The left lane closure on I-70 westbound from approximately the Route 40 on-ramp to just past the US 250 southbound off-ramp will continue. The Market Street overpass with reduction will continue. I-70 construction will continue westbound where crossovers are in effect. And all existing detours and closures will continue for the I-70 Bridges project. Follow Ohio Valley Traffic Report on Facebook, WTRF 7 News, and the Watchdog for updates.
Tridelphia. The Watchdog is protecting your yard. Join Howard Monroe, Hoppy Kercheval, Bill DeFabio, and Big Rick for the best live and local talk in the Upper Ohio Valley and beyond. Tridelphia trusts the Watchdog.
Watch out! He could climb on his soapbox at any time. The Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues.
It is a beautiful looking day outside. Clear skies, sun is up, looking nice. It's cold though. 23 degrees at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport. Feels like 16 with a bit of wind blowing around there. 23 at the airport, 23 at my home studios in Elm Grove, 23 degrees at the Robinson Auto Group Studios, downtown Wheeling in the heart of the Ohio Valley. Good news though is warmer air is on its way. Looks like it'll be a sunny day all day today. Temperatures by midday should be in the mid-50s and going into the 60s the rest of this week. So it's going to be a nice warm week. We've got Teddy this week. He's doing his school's on spring break, so maybe able to get him to the playground for the first time in a long time with the temperatures the way it is. Coming up today on the Watchdog Morning Show, the COVID relief bill passed the U.S. Senate, but there was a lengthy delay, the longest delay of a vote ever in Senate history. Because Joe Manchin said, you didn't tell me what you were doing. Senate Democrats spent hours and hours and hours trying to keep Manchin on board. They succeeded eventually. We will talk about that. Governor Justice has opened the state's businesses back to full capacity. Restaurants, bars, stores, 100% capacity now. Masks are still required. Metro News reporter Brad McElhenney and I will discuss this. Debate begins over the governor's proposed income tax reduction. State Senator Bill Ehlenfeld offers his thoughts a bit later on here on the show, and he reflects on how the majority in the legislature is handling fiscal responsibility. A Texas class on chivalry creates controversy. Patrick Morrissey has a list of the top consumer complaints from the Northern Panhandle that we'll take some time to talk about. The Andrew Cuomo story continues to grow, and I have some thoughts on that I will share with you coming up a little bit later on this morning. Something on your mind you want to talk about, 304-214-1600. 304-214-1600 is the Watchdog Radio Network text line. You can use it whenever the mood strikes you, and I will share to most extent the comments that you make. 304-232-8255 is the CityNet hotline if you want to use that. Once again, Biff, we have decided that old-fashioned cartoons were too bad. This time it's the Looney Tunes character, Pepe Le Pew. Do you know Pepe Le Pew, Biffy, or is that before your time?
No, I know who you're talking about.
Pepe Le Pew. He always talked with a French accent, and he was a skunk. And he always liked the women. The women skunks. But a columnist in the New York Times recently said that Pepe Le Pew engaged in rape culture. Some of the first cartoons I can remember included Pepe Le Pew, he said, who normalized rape culture. Then there was Speedy Gonzalez, whose friends helped popularize the corrosive stereotype of the drunk and lethargic Mexicans. And Mammy Two Shoes, I don't know Mammy Two Shoes, a heavyset black maid who spoke in a heavy accent. Some people responded and said, Pepe Le Pew, rape culture, come on, that's too far. So he went out and dug out a clip of Pepe Le Pew from an old Looney Tunes show, and I watched it last night. And, you know, it shows Pepe Le Pew, he grabs the Penelope Pussycat and says, hey, Pussycat, I would like to give you a kiss. And he gets Penelope the Pussycat, and he holds her and tries to kiss her, and she pulls away, and then he chases her around, and this case was on a boat, I think. He chases her around the boat. Hey, come to me, my little Pussycat, I would like to make love to you. And she's running away. And they eventually end up in a room, and he closes the door, and he says, now you will be mine. And so he grabs and kisses a girl, a stranger, repeatedly without consent and against her will, says this columnist. She struggles mightily to get away from him. He won't release her. He locks a door to prevent her from escaping. And this, he says, helped teach boys that no didn't really mean no. Now, it seems to me that if there's something that this gentleman is forgetting,
that would be...
It's a cartoon!
And again, what year? What year?
Yeah, these were made, 40s maybe? You know, when the first Pepe Le Pews came out, I'm guessing, I don't have a date on it, but I mean, it's not like they made them in recent years or in the 90s or the 80s, probably long, I mean, even before I was probably born, they were made. It's a cartoon skunk.
Again, nothing is off limits.
You know, I mean, if they, and your point about timing is right. I suppose if they made a cartoon today, we'd have to be more careful. Even cartoon characters should be a little more circumspect in what they do. But it's a cartoon character. It's a cartoon skunk, for God's sake. Speedy Gonzalez represented a lethargic Mexican. I don't know how many kids would have grown up and said, I think that cartoon character probably represents the real Mexicans of this world. It's something I've said over and over and over again on this show, and I've said it for decades. Kids know the difference between cartoons and real life. They understand that. We understood it.
Kids are smart.
It's a cartoon.
Kids are smarter than you think.
Said before, I never once in my life thought that it would be a good idea to drop an anvil on someone just because the Wile E. Coyote would drop an anvil on the Roadrunner. I never said, as a child, I think I'll get an anvil and drop it on one of my friends. That never crossed my mind.
Because common sense. That's why.
It's a cartoon! Some people are defending Pepe Le Pew by saying Penelope tries to get away from him because she's actually a cat. God. And she's trying to get away because he stinks because he is a skunk. I don't even know why Pepe. I don't know why Penelope is running away. But again, all I can say is it's a cartoon. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, there are serious things in life to worry about, and there are serious times when we are leading by bad examples. I don't quarrel with that. And there are some things that we acknowledge maybe weren't quite right once upon a time. We'd be a little more sensitive to them today. But it's a cartoon. It's a cartoon. Looney Tune, in fact, has acknowledged over the years that some of the stuff they did probably was not the best thing. Although some of the stuff, even gets like Looney Tunes has decided to eliminate rifles from their Elmer Fudd cartoons. Well, that's what did Elmer Fudd do? He had that big blunderbuss, and he would go, I'm going to find a wascally rabbit, and he would shoot it. I mean, it was a cartoon. They're taking the rifle away. God knows I'm not a Second Amendment guy. I'm not, big on we all should carry guns. But for God's sake, leave poor Elmer Fudd with his with this blunderbuss. Anyway, thought I would share it with you because I'm just I don't like that phrase cancel culture. I don't like the phrase. But I guess this is, again, part of it. What it is it's too many people who have too much time on their hand and think too seriously about silly stuff. Worry about poverty in the world. Worry about people who are homeless in this cold weather. Worry about people who can't pay their bills. Worry about people who are dying from COVID. Worry about idiots who wear jockstraps on their face in Charleston instead of masks. There are things to worry about in this world. Pepe Le Pew is not one of them. And I will get in trouble with some of my friends. I'm pretty sure, Biffy, I think my liberal card has been pretty well punched. They're just going to take it away from me. They're just going to take it away from me. If I don't...
Not yet.
But somebody's got to stand up for common sense. It's a cartoon. 7:38, 22 till the hour here on the Watchdog Morning Show. Cold morning, but a warmer day, a warmer week. All of that sounds good. Beautiful looking outside. But get used to it looking good this time of the morning right now, because this weekend we changed the time again because God's time isn't good enough for us. So we're going to daylight savings time this weekend. We'll talk about all of this with Zach coming up in a minute or two from the Big 7. But first, let's check Ohio Valley headlines and also see what Mr. DeFabio wants to tell us in sports here on the Watchdog Morning Show for a Monday.
The WTRF Channel 7 News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
Now it's time for your local news headlines from 7 News at WTRF, My Ohio Valley, and ABC Ohio Valley. Only on AM 1600 WKKX. The Watchdog.
Good Monday morning, Ohio Valley. I'm Stephen Ruffing with your 7 News headlines. West Virginia logged less than 160 new patients yesterday, marking only the second time since October 25th that the state was below 200 for its daily total. As far as transmission goes, our area is seeing mixed results today. Wetzel moved down to gold after several days stuck in orange, but Ohio and Marshall both moved up to yellow. That's because the percentage of tests coming back positive rose slightly in both areas. Last week, Governor Jim Justice lifted capacity restrictions for bars and restaurants. The mask mandate remains in place. In Wetzel and Tyler counties, several new groups can take part in a new vaccination clinic on Friday. Officials say pharmacy specialist in Ohio is expecting a baby next month and says she went ahead with the shot because the risk of getting the virus outweighed the potential complications. And that was a look at your headlines. Have a great day, everyone.
A 4-point weekend for the Penguins Saturday. The Penguins beat the Flyers 4-3. Sunday night, the Penguins down the New York Rangers 5-1, recording 3 goals in the first period. Former Naylor goaltender Casey DeSmith in the nets for Pittsburgh made 23 saves. Pittsburgh will host the Rangers Tuesday night. The Pirates acquired right-handed pitcher Dwayne Underwood Jr. from the Chicago Cubs for a minor league first baseman. Underwood 1-1 in 30 major league career games. NBA All-Star game played in Atlanta. you know there was no defense. A lot of offense. Team LeBron beat Team Durant 170 to 150. College basketball, Mountain East Conference title game, Fairmont State 102, the West Liberty Hilltoppers 99. In auto racing, in Vegas, Kyle Larson takes the checkered flag. Well, it was on this date, March 8th, 1971, yes, 50 years ago, a great boxing event took place at Madison Square Garden. Ali versus Frazier, and the winner, Joe Frazier. Some call it the greatest event in sports history. I will not disagree with that. Meanwhile, writer Jim O'Brien is the only surviving member of the press that was at ringside in New York on that night. He would join me in the 1 o'clock hour on the Variety Show. Hey, be safe out there. Be considerate of others. Please check on the elderly. I'm Bill DeFabio on sports, and we are, and always will be, the Watchdog.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is, fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-362-2000, 362-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. I'm a private real estate investor who can solve your real estate problems fast for cash. Do you want to sell and just be done with it? Okay, great. I buy vacant properties, boarded up houses, pre-foreclosures, and inherited properties. I also buy apartment buildings, rental portfolios, divorce homes. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. I look forward to solving your real estate problems today. Give me a call for an all-cash offer at 614-362-2000, 614-362-2000.
Listen to the Bill DeFabio Variety Show with Bill DeFabio and Lola Miller. Weekdays noon to 2 on the Valley's only network dedicated to live and local talk radio, The Watchdog.
There's a time and a place for everything, including a different point of view. This is that time and place. You're listening to the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe, brought to you in part by Wheeling Hospital.
She's a friend of mine. Take it easy. 23 degrees at the airport. 23 Don't let the sound inside temperature here at my home studio. Biffy, it's been going down. When we started the show 40 minutes ago, I said inside temp because my furnace isn't working again today. I started out at 40 degrees here in the home studio. 31. Temperature's going down inside my house. I am freezing in here. 31 degrees
and
inside.
It's going down quick.
It's going down very quick. 31 degrees. Holy mackerel.
You need a barrel.
I'm going to have to go get I have what I call my Mr. Rogers sweater. You know how on the old Mr. Rogers TV show he would always come into the room, he'd put his sweater on. I've got my Mr. Rogers sweater. If not a full-fledged jacket, please. Oh, man. Good news is, Zach Petty, that it's going to get warmer today, right?
Oh, yeah, we're definitely going to be on the up and up. Sorry to hear about your furnace, Howard. That's definitely not a good thing to have, but at least you'll be able to have the windows open and to allow some warmer, fresh air into the house later on this afternoon, because we're going to be topping off in that mid-50 range today with mostly sunny skies.
All right, I like to say it's looking nice outside. I'm looking outside and seeing pretty clear skies and sunshine coming up. It looks good, but 23 is what I see at the airport, and again 31 here inside the home studio. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that warm up. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, and speaking of that warm up, Howard, we're talking about that for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays, where we're going to be in the 60s, mid to low 60s over the next 3 days.
I'm in for that. I like the sound of that.
Yeah, you'll definitely be on the happy end of that scale, because we'll be feeling more like spring, almost like summer in some parts.
And I'm looking at your 7-day overnight lows will be 40s, even on Thursday into Friday. Overnight low could be close to 50. So maybe it won't be so cold at night because I'm figuring the furnace guy will get here today and it's going to say, you need a new furnace. And then that's not going to be that's not going to be a 24-hour, I'll fix it this afternoon kind of thing, I have a feeling. So
yeah,
go without heat for a few days. So this is a good week. Your forecast matches well with the fact that I have no heat in my house, in the house today.
Yeah,
and also, this is a good forecast because grandson Teddy is on spring break this week. So he'll be with us. We'll have him all week long here during the day. And I'm thinking this could be a get to the playground kind of week because of the weather, too.
Yeah, get to the playground, swing on the swing sets, and just go for a walk and enjoy the breath of fresh air since we've been all cooped up with the cooler air and the winter this past couple of weeks. And definitely a nice change in pace for us. We were alluding to it last week, and at least we were able to now semi-verify that, hey, we're going to continue on with that warm-up, and it looks like it'll be here in full force. So certainly a nice week to get out and enjoy the sunshine.
Yeah, I do like the sound of that. Now, is this are we now in the turnaround? I mean, are we going to now be continuing to move forward towards spring, or are we going to step backwards again at some point?
Well, looking long-term, Howard, I don't even know if I want to tell you this, but we have a chance of seeing some colder than average temperatures as we transition into the next work week. But again, upper atmospheric patterns can obviously change. We're looking a week plus out into the future, but there has been a little bit of a trend saying, hey, we're going to see a bit cooler air as we head into the next work week.
Oh, boy. 11 days, 15 hours, 11 minutes, according to the WTF-TV7 website before we hit spring. So, but I tell you, we do hit this coming weekend. I'm looking outside right now, and I'm saying, hey, when I got up this morning, it was the sun was up, and it was looking good, and it looks beautiful outside, clear sky, sunshine. However, only a few more days for me to see that when I wake up because we hit daylight savings time this weekend.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that because that means sunset's going to be right around 7. Sunrise will be right around 7 as well, and it'll all be later and harder for me to go to bed at 6 o'clock. Now the sun will be out shining bright, and but hey, it just means that we're getting close to the summertime. So I guess we'll just have to push. I'll have to push through. I'll take the sacrifice for everyone else in the Ohio Valley.
Do you have room darkening blinds, or do you put one of those little masks on or something when it's light outside in order to try and get to sleep at 6, or can you do it even when it's light outside?
I can do it. I did it over the summer. I didn't really have much of a problem. I don't have any of the what are they, like the blackout curtains, or no, I don't wear a funny mask. I do that enough with the COVID situation, and I don't need blinders on for me to go to bed. So I kind of just tough it out and just kind of, okay, it's a little brighter, so you just kind of imagine it as a nap and hope that you don't wake up until the alarm goes off.
Exactly. All right. Well, now, I just put my forecast away. Did I see some rain as possible, though, this week amidst the warmth? Is that?
Yeah. It looks like we could have our next weather maker swinging by. We have gone almost 6 days without any measurable precip at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport. So it has been a little bit of a stretch with dry conditions. Now, don't get me wrong, it is rather nice to talk about not much with hardly clouds in the skies as high pressure is the things. But as you alluded to, it looks like Thursday, maybe into Friday, we are expecting to see some rain showers. And as of now, it's actually looking to be a good soaking rain. I'm not looking too ahead to see how much rain we'll get, but by Tuesday, tomorrow and Wednesday, I'll be able to give an amount to see how much rain we're expected to get. But we're all getting into March, and Howard, that means severe weather season for areas of the Midwest, and we actually do get severe weather here in the Ohio Valley, so that'll be another thing that'll be on my radar is, when are any of these showers going to turn to storms, and is there anything that we got to worry about with gusty winds and lightning and torrential downpours for flash flooding? So we're cutting out of the winter months, so that already poses enough of a headache. Now we get to go into the next headache, which is spring severe weather forecasting, which is yet again another headache scenario for us meteorologists.
Well, all I'm caring about is a couple of nice warm days. I just please give me a couple of nice warm days until I can get my furnace fixed. So that's all. At this moment, that's all I can ask of you, Zach. If you could possibly work on that. By the way,
I got you 3 days.
I notice you are the advisor.
Yeah. Yes.
That is a strange promo you guys are. You and Dr. Dave and Aaron, y'all look so serious, marching in there. The
superheroes.
The superheroes, yeah. Dr. Dave, the predictor. Zach Petty, the advisor. And Aaron Milan, the chaser. That's a pretty good promo, actually.
I think it's funny.
You're the advisor, huh?
Yes, I get to advise everyone what's going to happen, and then Aaron will go chasing after it, and Doc will be predicting when it happens. So
that's kind of a neat promo, you guys. I love promos. I get a kick out of them. That was actually a pretty neat one. That was pretty good. So
yeah, our promotions manager Katie, she does a fantastic job in coming up within our. I forget what his title is, Trey. He does a fantastic job with the promotion side and very creative. And I just tell them, you tell me what to do because you have the vision in your mind. If I do my part wrong, then you just tell me to redo it. It's simple. If I don't want you to mold your high standards to my bad performance, I can try to get better.
But there have been some really clever promos that have been done in Channel 7 in recent years, and I like that one. I saw it for the first time this weekend. That's why I don't know if it just debuted or not, but it's pretty funny. The predictor, the analyzer, the chaser. You guys are out there doing your work. All right, analyzer. I got to run. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Hopefully it'll warm up by midday, and I'll be able to take off my Mr. Rogers sweater. Thanks for joining us today, Zach. Talk to you tomorrow.
Yep, have a good one, guys. Hope your furnace bill isn't too high, Howard.
Honestly, at this point, I don't care about the bill. It's the speed that makes a difference to me.
Fair enough. I got you. Heard loud and clear. Take it easy, guys.
Thanks a lot. 7 before the hour here on the Watchdog Morning Show. Zach Petty checking in from the Big 7, WTRF TV. Have you seen that new promo yet they're doing, Biffy, with the weather guys as the superheroes?
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about. I've seen it.
It's kind of funny. I still think the funniest promo I've ever seen on Channel 7, though, was the Alexa promo. Cancel.
Yes.
Ms. Trishler.
Yes.
But
that was another good one.
That was really funny, and Alexa was really good at cancel. She was really good at. She acted really well in that script. All right, 6 before the hour here on the Watchdog Morning Show. Do I have a break to do? Am I okay? We caught up?
Yeah, we're caught up. We're good.
Another one of these bizarre stories, somewhat like Pepe Le Pew. In Texas, a high school has come under criticism for a chivalry assignment. And it doesn't say, but I'm assuming it's a history class, and they were trying to teach what chivalry meant in the Middle Ages. And so the assignment told the girls in the class to obey every reasonable request of a male, dress in a feminine way to please the boys, cook something for the gentlemen of the class, and do not show intellectual superiority if it would offend the men around them. Now, the male students had their own rules suggested by the teacher. Male students had to dress in suits and ties, address all the girls as milady, help them to their seats. The guys had to recite poetry for the class. The goal of this, and I think it's pretty clever, the goal of this was try to demonstrate to the kids and to the school what the code of chivalry meant in medieval times. And the teacher said, and maybe suggest to the kids that some of this could carry over. Now, I don't believe this teacher, really and truly wanted all the girls to bow down and, obey the boy. It was a lesson. And once again, Biffy, it was about going back to a time which is not this time. Going back talking about chivalry as it was practiced in the Middle Ages.
on how many times now do you hear that chivalry's dead? It doesn't exist.
Exactly.
It doesn't exist anymore. How many times have we heard that?
Exactly. And so this teachers, what we're doing anymore is, we see this in schools all the time. We are beating the creativity out of teachers. This to me is a creative way to teach chivalry as a concept of what it was like in the medieval times, and maybe to even get the kids to talk about how we act today, and do we, is there, as you point out, Biff, chivalry is dead, and chivalry as it was practiced then maybe should be, but should we be more respectful of each other and so on? I mean, to me, it was a perfect lesson.
It's almost like, okay, what can you take from back then that we don't apply as much to, or we don't apply anything at all to the way we live today?
But needless to say, on Twitter, critics said the assignment showed unfair gender standards. Most of what the female students were being asked to do was unfair. Yes! It was the point! That was the point! Yes, it was unfair. That was the point! That was the point of teaching what it was like in the days of the medieval knights, and how chivalry was. And was it unfair? Yes! And that's what they were teaching you! It's like these, we've heard similar cases of this, Biffy, where teachers have tried to tell students to act as if they were slaves, for example.
Yeah.
And so they understand what slavery is like, and then, it's terrible, they're telling these people to be slaves. No, they're trying to teach them. And we beat creativity out of teachers because of Twitter.
Can't have it anymore.
No. Just read the lesson plan. I think back over the years of my education, and without exception, the teachers I remember and the ones who taught me things were the ones who did things in some of the most wild and creative ways and didn't follow the lesson plan. You know what I'm saying?
You remember them.
You remember them, and you remember what they taught. And you remember... But here we go again. Yet another teacher. Now, the teacher was not... I don't know if it's a he or she. It doesn't say, I don't think. The teacher was not fired, but the teacher was called into the principal's office, and it was discussed. And the assignment has been withdrawn. We should not do this kind of thing in our school. I am so sick and tired of it. Between Pepe Le Pew and the liberal and the chivalry class, I'm just already at my wit's end. And I'm going to get worse because we're going to talk about Governor Justice coming up next hour here on the Watchdog Morning Show.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
Last night revealing
I'm going to step into the room where there's heat, Biffy. I'll be back in a minute or two. Ehlenfeld is at 8:10, and Brad's at 8:40. All right. Are you down there?